Hi, and welcome to this full moon release session. Today, we are gonna walk through all of the steps of coming aware of what we're holding on. We're gonna see how attached we are to that and see how we can release that. It's a full moon right now, and during these seasons, it's like all of your energy is being held and ready to be released. So you might notice that a lot of things are coming up right now that you normally don't think about. And this time is made to really become aware and start releasing all the things that you are storing. So first of all, January was so long. I've seen so many people write that, oh, today is 47 of January. Like, isn't it gonna end soon? So yeah, I feel the same way. I'm very ready to walk into a new month and finally start letting go of some of the things that happened in January and step into a new month. So, first, we're going to go over a little about the full moon, what it means. So, whenever it's a full moon, it's the peak of the lunar cycle. So, this is where energy is the highest, and whatever has been building beneath you under the surface is made to come to awareness. So, this will be, for example, you will become aware of how you show up in the world, where you're being true to yourself, where you might be holding back, maybe dimming yourself or trying to seek approval from other people. So, this is kind of what the journaling prompts in this session will be about. We are becoming aware of that, and then we are going to release that. Um, so, the full moon is such a magical time to really sit down, reflect, and start the month fresh. So, that's what we're going to do today. Um, so, the structure of this session is first of all, we're going to have some journaling prompts where you can become aware of what's happening right now, what are you feeling, what's coming up for you. And then we're gonna journal on what you're attached to right now, what you feel like you're holding on to that's maybe not serving you or not right for you anymore. And then we're gonna go over to the release part of this session and start releasing that. And I will give you an exercise video you can use to process old events that you wanna let go of. So let's dive in. I'm gonna turn up the music a little, and then I want you to sit down comfortably wherever you are. Maybe pull out a blanket, maybe a pillow, take out a journal, or if you want to write on your computer or your phone, that's also okay. But I want you to turn off any notifications that you have so that you're truly dedicated to this moment. Okay, so let's start journaling by writing down in what ways am I holding back my voice, my needs, or my truth? And then the second one, what do I want to say or do that I'm not allowing myself to? So take a few minutes and journal on that. come back. And then we're moving over to the next journaling questions. So I want you to journal on what am I still carrying out of habit, fear, loyalty, maybe to an old version of myself. And then the next one, what do I feel done and ready to move on from in my life? Let's take a few minutes to journal on that. Okay. And then the next journaling question is, if I trusted myself more, what would I stop doing? What am I ready to let go of to feel lighter and more aligned? Take a few minutes to journal on that. I hope you were able to write down some things that you have been feeling, thinking about, maybe some things that you weren't even aware of. Usually, once you start writing, things are coming up that you might have suppressed or didn't really think about, that's been kind of in the background. So, it's always good to do these journal sessions to really just put everything down that's circling in your head. So now we're going to move over to release some of this stuff. So, first of all, I want you to just close your eyes, and then I want you to take a deep breath. So, inhale through your nose, hold, and then exhale through your mouth. And let's do 3 of those long breaths. So, inhale, hold, and exhale. One more. Hold, exhale. And then I want you to take something that came up during your journaling, something that happened in the past, something that's been bothering you, something that you haven't really been able to let go of. And first of all, I want you to, for yourself, describe what happened. So in your head or on paper, just like describe a little what happened. Maybe actually, let's write it down. So let's take a minute or two where you just write down what happened. So describe that past experience that you want to release. Okay, and then I want you to think back to that experience and we'll really come back to what it felt like. So close your eyes and come back to the experience and relive it in your mind. And then I want you to describe for yourself what it felt like. So, did you get angry? Did you feel fear? Did you feel shame? Did you feel happiness? Did you feel scared? Try to name the emotion that came up. And then once you have that named, I want you to really focus on where you feel the feeling. So, do you feel it in your throat? Do you feel it in your stomach when you're thinking about it? Try to localize where that feeling is coming from. Good. And then I want you to think about how you reacted. I want you to identify any behaviors that you had when it happened, any thoughts that came up in your mind. Can you identify what you felt about yourself or the situation? And then I want you to explain for yourself what could have gone differently, like how could you have reacted differently? Could you have been more understanding? What could you have done differently? And then after, I want you to decide how you can reframe this experience. So, as an example, you could say that I did the best what I could, the best that I was capable of. You could also say that I forgive myself because I didn't know better. Um, Try to reframe it as something positive because in the end we are all learning and evolving and every mistake or bad things that we experience, it's a learning opportunity. So whatever happened, you learned something, you grew from it. It was something that needed to happen in order for you to move forward. Um, and it would always be something that has really shaped you, no matter how big or small it is. It's even like the small things that shape you. Um, Not everything that we want to release is big things, but even those small things can really linger in ourselves if we don't release it. And it comes down to your stored emotions around that event. It comes down to stored energy to those events. If you haven't processed something, those events will keep coming up whenever you experience something new that reminds you of that situation. It can even be that your body remembers that experience. So, whenever we tap into these old experiences that we want to let go of, it's really important to just be kind to yourself and remember that this was a learning experience, and allow ourselves to let go and move on from that situation. So sometimes things can come up that maybe you haven't thought about in a long time, maybe things that you didn't even realize that you were carrying anymore. But just this release process, doing this as a journal exercise, is really, really good to process things that you didn't have the capacity to process at the time. So you can bring this out whenever you have a flashback of something, whenever there's something that you feel is constantly coming up for you as a memory. That's usually a sign that your body hasn't processed those emotions or those experiences yet. So doing this in this way, what it does is that it rewires the brain, because you are going through every single step of what happened. How did you feel? How did I react? And then when you're replacing it with a more positive belief, you're rewiring that experience to be something positive. And going through it step by step like this is really how the body processes something. So you describe it, you feel it, and then you learn to release it. So that's what we just did. So another part of this is letting go of that physical feeling. So I want you to close your eyes again, and then I want you to remember the experience and then the feeling again. So come back to where you felt it in your body. So did you feel it in your throat, maybe in your stomach? Maybe you feel a little tensed in that area. That is usually where the emotion sits, that is stored. So I want you to really feel that emotion, and then I want you to describe the emotion. Does it have a color? Does it have a shape? Can you almost like touch it, like move it around? Just try to sit with that feeling a little. And then as you're doing that, I want you to take your hand and rub your chest, and then focus on that part in the body where it's sitting. And then take a few deep breaths. So when you're rubbing your chest, you are communicating with the body that you're safe right now. It's calming the nervous system. And when you feel that uncomfortable feeling, once you experienced it, you probably didn't feel safe enough to experience it or to process it. So your body suppressed it or pushed it away. So when you're touching your body, you are really communicating with the body that you're safe right now. And even though this experience is coming up for you, it's safe to let go of that experience. So take a deep breath. And then I want you to think back about that experience again and try to feel how it feels right now. Does it feel as intensely as it did before? Is it less? Is it located in the same spot? Has it moved somewhere else? So this is a process you can do, that whatever comes up and whatever has come up during this session, to really go through all of those things that you want to release and really help the body process it. So that was all that we were going to do in this session. Thank you so much for joining. I will try to do this session every full moon, and as part of my membership, you get to watch all of these sessions, plus some other bonus sessions. So thank you for watching.